Hi, everyone, and welcome to Live Your Happy TV. I am very, very excited about our guest today. She's not only a colleague, and I work lots with her, but she's also a dear friend. I have amazing memories with her. In 2014, she invited me to be a teacher at one of her retreats. She does amazing retreats. This one in specific was in Greece. And I'll forever, ever be grateful for that experience, and I'll never forget it. So she's definitely an amazing light worker. She's also a teacher of A Course in Miracles. That's one of the reasons why we wanted her on the show, to get her insights on that. She also graduated in 2006 from Agape International Spiritual Center ministerial program. So she is a reverend just like myself. And many of you guys know Michael Bedwith. He's the one that actually founded that church. We call her an intuitive spiritual therapist. So we kind of want to get more down into that and get a little bit more insights on what that is. And she also, it's something curious I didn't know, but she actually produced an off-Broadway. It was called All God's Dangers, and it actually also came out on PBS, I think. So we're going to talk about that as well, and much, much more. So welcome, my dear sister.
Thank you, Maria. I'm so happy to be able to join you. It's wonderful.
Yes, it's so wonderful to always be able to collaborate and just share with people out there truth, and so we can live a better existence, a happier existence.
It's true. We're so aligned, you and I.
I know we are who we are. We've always been. I love that. So I wanted to go ahead. I introduced you as a light worker, and I know that you also help other light workers get their career in gear. But for our audience, can you explain a little bit what is a light worker?
Sure. A light worker is like a teacher of God from A Course in Miracles. So someone who is, through their contribution in life, they're bringing in more light and more love versus adding negativity. They're adding positivity, and to bring us to that golden age of enlightenment.
What are some characteristics of a light worker, Jennifer?
Well, someone who is not motivated by trying to get things from life or get things from people, but who really is in their core motivated by being loving, being light-filled, being truly helpful. I think that truly helpful prayer that we all refer to on page 28 of the text, I call it the purpose prayer. To me, it's that light worker purpose prayer, the one I am here only to be truly helpful and to represent God who sent me, and that I will be led, I will be guided, I will be shown. Everything I need will be provided for me to be truly helpful. So I don't have to wonder, I don't have to worry. I am safe and secure in that place of bringing the light, because we are the light. We are the light. And for me, one of the most helpful realizations I've ever had is that the very nature of light is that you can't affix anything to it. You can't make light impure. So light, you can put a shade over the light, you can block the light, but you can't make it impure. And one of the biggest challenges we have in our human experience is we've come to believe that we're impure. We've come to believe that we're bad, that we're wrong. Many, many people believe that deep down they're evil, or there's something wrong with them, or they're not good. And what's so helpful to me is this awareness that as beings of light, it's not possible to make light impure. You think of the sunlight that's coming in here on me right now, or you turn on a light. Is there a way to make the light impure, to make it dirty, to sully the light? No. You can color it, you can shade it, you can block it, but you cannot make it anything other than light.
Wow, that's amazing. I never thought about it that way, but I love your description of it. I feel it makes it a lot easier to understand, because I feel that when somebody hears what's a light worker, or I am the light of the world, right, which is a very popular and wonderful, beautiful Course in Miracles workbook lesson. I am the light of the world. I feel that some people don't know what that is, or how it is to even be that.
Right.
So thank you for that. Speaking about, you brought up the word prayer, and I have to tell you, Jennifer, one of the first time I ever heard you was actually praying. I don't know how I came across something online. This is before Greece and before we started working together, and I actually became a teacher. I remember hearing one of your prayers. I think it was on Twitter. I found it on Twitter, and I remember I clicked on it. And I know that you have this thing that's called your daily shot of spiritual espresso, right? Which
Right.
everybody, we're going to give you all the links to all the great stuff. Jennifer has such great things. We're going to put all the links on the description. But you have your daily shot of spiritual espresso. And I remember listening to that, and you pray at the beginning. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this woman, like, she really knows how to pray. I mean, I was blown away at how deep you go, how easy it is for you to pray, how effortless you make it. I feel like when you pray, the words just goes deep into my soul. I just really get grounded in my heart. So, how has prayer impacted your life, and how have you been able to be so just good at it? I feel.
I'm really glad you asked me that question, because I love to talk about prayer and teach about prayer, because prayer is the right use of our mind. Prayer is, Course in Miracles has wonderful teachings on prayer and a song of prayer. And in the very beginning of the text of A Course in Miracles, it says that prayer is the medium of miracles. So meaning that, like, when a farmer's planting seeds, plants them in the soil, and that soil is the medium for the plant to grow in. So prayer is the medium of miracles. It is the place that the miracles grow in through prayer. So when we're praying, we wouldn't pray if we didn't know we have a connection with God. We wouldn't pray if we didn't know that we have an ability to use the power of our word in a beneficial way. And I learned to pray this way. So the first time I ever remember actually praying was one time I felt really, really frightened. It was back in the 90s, and I felt really terrified, like a shaking kind of fear, just gut-wrenching. And I don't remember exactly what it was about, but it was probably about money. And I thought, I have to do something. I can't just be afraid. So when I was a little girl, or just when I was younger, I would go and visit my grandparents. And in their house in Bowling Green, Ohio, they had in one of the bedrooms this plaque on the wall. It was a bronze plaque, and it showed this child at the foot of their bed praying like this. And it was the "Now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep" prayer on there. And which is a funky prayer, because the next line is, should I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take, which is like, why would you put that on a child's wall? But anyway, be that as it may, as my grandma would say. One of the things that, so I had that image in my mind of the prayerful young person at the foot of their bed, right, kneeling at the foot of the bed. So here I was, and I was an adult. I was quaking and shaking with fear. I went and knelt at the end of my bed, and I put my head on the bed, my arms on the bed, and I just said, help me. I don't know what to do. Show me what to do. I will not live in fear. Help me. And about an hour later, I had an idea of what to do, and the fear was gone. And that taught me the power of the word, the power of prayer, and the power of God in my life, and to access it. And the reason why I made that prayer was because not long before that, someone at work, I was working at Universal Studios at the time, so it was probably like early 1994, and she was studying to be a science of mind practitioner in Burbank there. And as I recall, and maybe even at that Burbank church that you speak at, actually. And she said, I'm studying this prayer technology of positive prayer, affirmative prayer. Would you let me pray for you? And I said, yes. And so she prayed for me. And I felt that it made a difference. So that's, I think, what inspired me to go kneel at the foot of the bed and make my prayer that I'll do whatever you guide me to do, but I will not live in fear. I won't tolerate it. And then I started to study prayer myself. I became a prayer practitioner in the Agape community. I've been a practitioner for 18 years now. And then I became a minister in 2006. And I teach people to pray. And one of the things in my ministry, I'm going to start training prayer practitioners. But I think that a lot of people underestimate the power of prayer. Yet, when I teach about it and I say, okay, so let's say that my friend Nancy just left, okay? And before she left, just before this interview, she said, oh, when you're talking with Maria, will you please pray for my cousin? And I say, you bet, Nancy. I will definitely have Maria pray with me. We'll be the two or more gathered together for your cousin. And then I say, okay, Maria, we're going to pray for my friend Nancy's cousin. And then I realize I don't know her cousin's name. Mm. And so when I'm in an audience, let's say, speaking to an audience about prayer, I ask them, I say, if I don't know Nancy's cousin's name, will the prayer not find them? And everybody says, no, of course it'll find them. And I say, what if I don't know why I'm praying for Nancy's cousin? I don't know where Nancy's cousin is in the world. I don't know how old the cousin is. I don't know if the cousin is male or female. I don't know any of these details. Will the prayer still be successful, even though I don't know any of those details? And people always say, yeah. And I say, will it take any longer to find the cousin if I don't know those details? And people are like, no. And I say, why? How does it work? You're so certain that the prayer will work, the prayer will find them, and it won't be delayed just because I don't have those details. How do you know that? And most people cannot explain it, but they do say, I just know. I just know. So there's a deep knowing that we have that prayer works. But when we pray to get things, please have my boyfriend ask me to marry me. Please let me get the promotion. Please. When we're begging God for things, then we're praying from the ego. And that's not the prayer to pray. The prayer is to be truly helpful. The prayer is to allow the highest and best to unfold and not to try to manipulate it. So that's the thing about prayer is, don't tell God what to do. It's about surrendering to God what you think you should do and just opening to the very highest and best and letting go of the blocks. So every day since, about 11 years ago, I've been recording a prayer and posting it on my website. I have a prayer podcast. You can listen to the prayers. You can dial the prayer. You can put it in your speed dial. You can download the prayers. We transcribe.
And you've been doing it for 11 years, Jennifer, and you do it once a week or every day?
Every day.
For 11 years, you've been doing that?
Yes.
Holy moly, that's impressive. Wow, I love that. It's inspiring to me because it's just shows so much your willingness and commitment, That's amazing.
Well, you know what happened was, so as a spiritual counselor, I became a counselor in 2000. And somewhere around 2007, one of my clients said to me, "Oh, Jennifer, I wanted to call you so bad in the middle of the night. I was just freaking out, and I really wanted to call you for prayer. I just knew if I could call you for prayer, I would feel better." And she said, "I just didn't want to wake you up. You know, I just couldn't do that." And because I had a landline. So she would have woken me up. And so I just thought, God, because I used to get prayer calls all day long. People calling, I'm going on a job interview. My dad's going in the hospital, you know, things like that all day long. People would call me for prayer. So I thought, God, how can I be truly helpful? How can I support these people who would like prayer in the middle of the night? Or, you know, they're in Europe and I'm here or whatever. And I got, just get a little voicemail and record the voicemail, outgoing voicemail every day. So I found a voicemail service and I've been doing it ever since, every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I heard. Maybe that's the prayer I heard. I know I heard a prayer.
That's it. That's what you heard. Yeah. It's my daily shot of spiritual espresso.
Well, that's what it is. Okay, and it was a good amount of time. Like the prayer is
Yeah,
it's not like it's not just 30 seconds. It's a pretty long prayer, correct?
Yeah, usually nowadays it's about 3 minutes.
Okay. I loved at the end there because you know, we just totally read my mind because I wanted to distinguish, you know, the prayer that we've been taught based on the world, which is supplication, which is wanting things. And I love how you brought that up. So our audience, so they can distinguish, you know, how the world taught us that prayer is a consistent asking and a like a desire. And it's like, please, you know, make this happen in my life. Which comes from a space of, it's not bad or good. It's just that it's coming from a space of like there's something missing, and it just feels so heavy to just you're like saying that you're not complete, like there's something outside of you that's missing. But this type of prayer, Jennifer, can you distinguish very clearly, like what's the difference about worldly prayer, like what the world's taught us, and true prayer, which is what I feel that you're getting at here?
Yeah, well, you know, I know you know, there's a wonderful A Course in Miracles publication. It's a little addendum called The Song of Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, it says that the greatest gift that we can give to God is to give up needing or wanting anything, to stop praying for things, and instead make an offering of the wanting, the needing, the craving, making that offering to God to be healed. That's the greatest gift that we can give to God. And so I think of it as laying it on the holy altar fire of divine love, to be burned away without any sense of pain. We lay these things on the altar fire for God to dissolve. And so the way I was taught to pray in the Ernest Holmes tradition, the Science of Mind tradition, the Unity Church, the Fillmores, you know, going back to Mary Baker Eddy and that whole lineage there of New Thought, it's an affirmative prayer. So in that prayer, we're saying that we're one with God, that God is all that there is, and that we are affirming things. So my mind is the mind of God. My life is the life of God. My heart is the heart of God. We make affirmations like those. We make affirmations such as, like, let's say if you had a prayer request about abundance. So in the prayer, it would be, I am opening to receive the abundance of God's love in all its forms. I'm allowing myself to receive the flow of abundance in my life. I'm letting go of all the blocks to abundance. I'm letting go of any idea that there is lack or that lack is real. I'm letting go of any sense of limitation, of unworthiness, undeservingness. I am accepting the full flow of God's love in the form of abundance and prosperity, and I'm sharing the benefits with everyone because I'm one with them. I'm so grateful and thankful to accept God's abundance as the very nature and essence of my being. I am abundant, and so it is. Amen. It's like that. It's totally affirmative.
Well, I think that we just got a prayer from you, everybody. Everybody, we just got a prayer from Jennifer, an abundance prayer, which is such a hot topic here in this world of form. The world of, I always say, abundance is recognizing that we are as God created us. You know, that's what true abundance is. So if you can do maybe, let's put it into maybe 3 steps or a few steps of prayer. What would be the first step?
Okay, well, I actually teach a 4-step prayer, and I call it
Okay.
God's prayer. So the first step is to begin with gratitude, grateful for what is already. Because when we're grateful, we raise our vibration up. And then when our vibration is higher, we're more receptive to insight. We're more receptive to hearing clearly, feeling clearly, seeing clearly, knowing clearly when we're in a place of gratitude. Because you can't be in a place of gratitude and complaining at the same time. So that's why I always say love and gratitude is the most basic spiritual practice. Be in your loving heart and be grateful. If you can't be in your loving heart, just be grateful. You know, and Oprah said that the most powerful thing in her life was gratitude. That back in whenever it was when she was first starting out and things were so hard for her, she said she had a practice of gratitude, and she would write in her gratitude journal every night. And she said, in the beginning, I was grateful for ice cream. I was grateful for the foods that I ate and things like that. She said, but at least I was grateful. So we begin our prayer, the God's prayer, the GODS prayer, with gratitude. And then the next stage is to make an offering. So we make an offering of the things that we want or the things that we think we need, the craving, all of which is born of a sense of lack and limitation. So whenever we're needing, wanting, craving, we're affirming lack and limitation every time. So if you want to start experiencing having, you have to make an offering of the wanting, needing, craving. So we give it to the Holy Spirit for healing. We don't have to figure out how to heal anything. We just give it to Spirit to heal. You know, this is a big mistake that a lot of people make, is they think they have to figure it out. But only the ego has to figure it out, because the Spirit already knows, right? There's nothing the Spirit doesn't know. So when we're aligned with Spirit, we can know too. But when we're aligned with the ego, we think we don't know. So we're trying to understand. But what is true, our eternal, infinite spiritual nature that is abundance, that is prosperity, that knows no lack, that knows no limitation, that can never be understood by the ego. So trying to understand it when we're identified with the ego is a big time suck. There's just no point. There's no benefit to trying to understand things. Really, there's not. Spirit will always give us direct knowing if we're willing. We can stop trying to understand everything, seriously. So we make an offering of thinking that we don't know. We make an offering of whatever the lack is in our mind. We make an offering of the resentments, the regrets, the hurts, the fears, all the blocks to love. We make an offering of whatever the blocks are. Whether we know what they are or not, it doesn't matter. We just make an offering of them. And then the D, GODS, the D is to declare. So just as I was making those positive, affirmative statements that I'm in tune with the infinite, I'm opening myself to receive the fullness of God's abundance, we make declarative, positive statements. And we don't, I tend to stay away from declarative statements such as, I no longer need to experience pain and suffering. No, I don't make those kinds of affirmations. I just make the affirmations of, I am in peace. I am in harmony. Sometimes I might make a declaration like, or in the offering stage, I'm offering all attachments to suffering, to pain, to thinking that I'm bad. That would be part of the offering. But in the declaration stage, it's positive affirmations. And then the S is
Is the S surrender? No.
It's share. It's share, actually.
Oh, share. Okay.
Yeah, the offering is part of the surrendering, but the S is really, it's share. Is share the benefits with everyone because we're one with them. So it's that affirmation of the unity of all life and the oneness with God. So that's what the S is. And I'm always grateful all the way through too. So I'm grateful to make the offering. I'm grateful to make the declarations, and I'm grateful to share the benefits with everyone. And I'm grateful to receive the answered prayer. So I just do it in those 4 stages. In Science of Mind, they teach 5 stages. And I've had many, many, many people tell me that they found the 5 stages confusing, but the GODS, they learn it in one half an hour, 10 minutes, they can learn it, and then they can start practicing it. And prayer is the medium of miracles. So it's foundational to what I teach in my classes.
It's so helpful. It's funny because I really had such a prompting to speak to you about prayer. And when I didn't want to tell you that because it wasn't clear for me yet until like I started to get into it. And then we started talking about light worker. Then you mentioned prayer and I was like, oh, there we go. Okay. Thanks, Spirit, for the inspiration. This made it so easy. God's prayer is a gratitude. That's the first step is being grateful. So it would sound like I'm so grateful, Spirit, for this moment. For the fan that is over my head. I'm grateful for this chair that sustains me. I'm grateful for my dog and for its love. I feel its presence. That's how I would get myself in that space. It's like bringing myself to peace.
Yes.
Then the second step is offering. So I would offer whatever judgments I may be having, offering, my barriers, right? Saying, Spirit, I offer you my upset right now. I offer you that, I really want to make this happen. I really want to be abundant, or I want to have money in the bank. I offer you this, I'm so angry because so-and-so did something to me, right? So it's like a kind of a cleanse.
Yeah.
I'm feeling.
Perfect.
And then we have declare. So 3 is declare. So declare is it would be something like I am an amazing mother. I am very patient with Ari. I am I'm a being of light. I am love. I am peace. I am abundance. I am a light worker. And then the 4th step is share. Is to share. Maybe I'll at that moment just think of my mom in Miami, because even though she's not with me, we're in spirit. So I can maybe share a blessing with her and think about her and send her love and healing energy. Is that what the sharing part is?
It's really sharing the benefits with everyone because we're one. Yeah. Yeah.
So what does it look like, that last step? I got the 3 down packed. So the 4?
Yeah, it's just sharing with all. I mean, you can definitely, I share the benefits with my mother, with my family, and with all beings. I think it's really valuable to say with everyone, because that helps to dissolve the thoughts we have of separation, of otherness. It helps us to dissolve the sense of withholding from the people we don't like. If we're sharing the benefits with everyone.
So it's very healing, because it actually helps with our grievances as well, that 4th step. All right, everyone. Jennifer, that was amazing. This is going to be so helpful. Like, people just click on this video and they'll be able to have insights on how to pray in a more powerful way than what the world has taught us. So I really, really appreciate that. And we're going to put all your information. You do such great stuff. I don't even know how you have time to do all the things that you do. I think it's because of your prayer work.
It is. There's no question.
Because you have just so many beautiful resources and things. We're going to make sure we put all of your resources on the description, Jennifer. We're also going to put this on all social media outlets when the video comes out. So thank you so much for your time and for your wisdom, your insights.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking me. Mwah.
Mwah.